Give to Barrett. Cut back over the middle of the 25 to the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 15. Stops, starts 10-5. Touchdown Lions. Holy mackerel.
Throws, end zone. It is caught. What a play back there in the back of the end zone by TJ Hockenson.
You're listening to the One Pridecast. Welcome to the One Pridecast. What better person to have on this week's episode than a former Green Bay Packer, as the Lions will travel to Green Bay Monday Night Football. Do you want to say something already, TJ Lane?
No, you just said who's better.
You're right, Jamal Williams, and we do have him actually coming up later on the show. But right now it's about you, the two-time Pro Bowler. TJ, first up, were you ever jealous that you didn't get a chance to do the Lambeau leap?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I'm jealous I never got the chance to score a touchdown or anything, but
we love big man touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I mean after the thick six, that's the trending vibe now.
Oh, is that a new one?
Yeah, I've heard that's awesome.
Oh.
No, but usually after a touchdown, I just couldn't wait to just run to the sideline and get some water and some oxygen. But I actually did get a chance to do it one time. It was in the family night scrimmage, which is like
doesn't really count.
Right before preseason. Yeah, it doesn't really count, but it was still cool though because even in Green Bay, their family night scrimmage would still attract like 70,000 people. So you still got a little bit of the vibe, right? People kind of hitting you and beer spilling everywhere, but no, I guess I wouldn't say the short answer. No, I guess I'm not very jealous and never got to do it.
I wasn't sure. I know you get a lot of hugs when you do that leap. So
yeah,
I
but
sure
I feel like I don't know. I've always had a fear of failure, so I think I would have been the guy to like face plant into the wall, trip over a TV wire or something crazy like that. So maybe it's a good thing I didn't get to do it.
You could just do it Monday when you're there.
Especially nowadays. I mean, with how fast everything goes viral.
Right.
Like
3 seconds and it'd be up.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a meme.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see if we can, how many cheese curds and brats we'll get into before that. How should I prepare myself before heading into Lambeau as a rookie?
You've never been to Lambeau Field?
No.
Wow. I gotta say, I mean, I really think it's just the holy grail of NFL stadiums. I mean, you kind of walk in and the history and the tradition just kind of hit you, it's just
right in the
weird.
face,
yeah, and
wow.
I know it's just, obviously playing there for 8 years, you take it for granted at times. But even as a player, I mean, every time I got to walk out on the field, like there was just a different energy, just a different emotion. You're walking through this tunnel where, Vince Lombardi walked through and all these greats. And even on the away team, getting a chance to come in and play with the Lions walking through there. It's just a special place. I mean, and the atmosphere is awesome. I mean, the night games there are awesome. And I hate domes. Like, I do not like domes. Nothing against Ford Field. I love Ford Field. But
it's inside
you
during
give
the
me
winter,
a chance,
that.
I would rather play on the grass, natural grass, outside, get all the elements.
That's some grit.
Obviously, we're going here early this year, so you don't get the true Lambeau experience when it's like 10 degrees and windy and snowing. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the environment is going to be great. It always is. Their fans, no matter what the record is, their fans always show up every single week, and it's a great spot for football. I mean, it is just like you can't even really say you like an NFL fan if you haven't been to Lambeau. I feel like.
Oh,
I think it's just like it's just like a bucket list. It's just
100%.
so cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
Playing both sides. I mean, playing with the Lions, going there, playing with Packers, home games. Yeah, it's just awesome.
Okay, that leads me into this. So you went back to Lambeau as a Lion, correct?
Yeah, multiple times. Yeah.
Running back Jamal Williams is about to do the same thing. What's the most anticipated thing as you return back, not in that green and gold?
Obviously, when you move teams and, you get a chance to play your former teammates, there's a sense of you that wants to prove people wrong, I think anytime you hit free agency and you leave, it's kind of like, oh, they didn't want me. I'm going to show them, and I certainly had that feeling a little bit the first time playing back there. I know Jamal's probably Yeah, maybe he's not. I don't know.
He called him
he's
his
excited.
ex-girlfriend.
Right, and it's like, yeah, you just want to show him. You know, you kind of want to prove people wrong, and I think that's a chip that a lot of people carry. You know, when you play former teams. The one thing I can say, though, is that you have to, I guess, just be aware and careful to make sure the emotions, you know, don't go too far. You know, there were certainly plays I remember early in the game when I was playing back there in 2017 where, you know, you're kind of riding that fine line of, you know, finishing plays and blocking and, okay, you got warned a couple times by the referee, you know, okay, stop at the whistle, you know, but just those emotions kind of hit you. So I'd say once the game starts, and Jamal, you know, I mean, the kid he's one of the most energetic, you know, players I've ever seen. I mean, he's the same in the consistency that he brings, but yeah, I think there's going to be a chip on his shoulder, no doubt, you know, especially after the game he had last week. You know, having some really nice carries, and hopefully they can, you know, compete a little bit better this week than they did against the San Francisco team, so we can see more runs and not 60 passes again. I don't think that's how they want to play.
We love 57 passes.
But yeah, I think Jamal obviously playing there for 4 years. You know, it's probably a special place to him, but he's going to get a chance to prove a lot of people wrong. I think that's what makes, from my vantage point, excited to watch him play personally this week.
You played in Green Bay for 8 whole seasons. You blocked for Aaron Rodgers. If there's one thing that this Lions defensive line can line up and like whisper in his ear to mess him up and to really throw him off, what would it be?
Honestly, I think nowadays, like, you know, I'd probably go after his man bun. I think he looks terrible with long hair, but
hot take.
He's also very sensitive about his calves. Like, he's just got like really baby calves, and I think, you know, if you can mention that to him.
You've got small calves.
Yeah, just like no definition, you know, kind of the cankle look to it. We used to joke all the time. I mean, yeah, who's not sensitive about their calves? But
right. So if anyone says cankle,
I'd go after the man bun.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
It's a little bit more gray than it was when it was shorter, and I'd probably start there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, he's very calm and poised, but it's worth a shot.
I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. All right.
Go after the bun.
We'll do just one X and O question. How do the Lions win on Monday Night Football in Lambeau?
I think you know what, I just have a feeling that Green Bay is going to try to run the ball like 40 times. Last week, Aaron Jones only had, you know, like 5 or 6 carries, which, I mean, I don't think the Packers are going to win any games if you know, if he only gets, if Aaron Jones only gets 5 touches. I mean, they're just not going to. He's one of the premier running backs in the league, and I think that Green Bay, every time they seem to play that style of game where it's like pass first, especially the last couple of years, it doesn't really work out for them. That offensive line, I don't think is built to pass block 35 or 40 times. I mean, they need to run the ball well. They need to build in the play action off of that. So if you're Detroit, I think that would be probably the number one, you know, must do this week, is we have to try to find a way to stop the run. And they weren't able to do that last week really until the second half against San Francisco. They did a much better job. But when it gets that out of hand in the first half, every play action pass is pretty much going to work after that. So it's stopping the run, and it's trying to find a way to start the game fast and get an early lead, because that can also throw off Green Bay's game plan. Maybe they're forced into throwing the ball a little bit more, and now you can take advantage of maybe some of the one-on-one pass rushers that you have with their young offensive line. But yeah, it definitely starts with don't let Aaron Jones get going, because if he gets going, they're going to use him often, and they're going to use him a lot. And we saw that last year when the Lions went up to Lambeau Field, and Aaron Jones had, you know, 180-some yards. He broke off like an 80-yarder, and they just kept doing it the whole game. So that's definitely got to be key number one for the defense. All
right. Amazing insight from the former Packer. And like we mentioned, another former Packer, running back Jamal Williams, is joining us next. Stay tuned. One Pridecast coming back. Rory's Cub Club registration is back open for the 2021 season. Get your children in the official Detroit Lions fan club for kids up to age 14. Each Cub Club registration comes with a membership kit filled with one-of-a-kind Detroit Lions items, plus exclusive events and ticket discounts. Visit DetroitLions.com/Cub Club to sign up now. Woo! Okay, Jamal, going back to Green Bay. How different will it be walking into Lambeau not as a Green Bay Packer?
It's going to be all business like usual, but it's going to be a baby weirdness just because I ain't going to be in the same locker room, honestly. Now I got to come through that baby, the visitor locker room one. So it's going to be a little weird, but, it's just part of the game. So I'm having fun with it.
How hungry are you to beat your former team?
Oh, man. How hungry am I? I think I'm hungrier than a vulture flying around for 3 weeks without food.
Is that possible?
Yeah, they're the scavengers of the earth.
They can go 3 weeks without eating.
I don't know.
Okay.
But they're the scavengers of the earth. I like them though. Vultures will never die because all they do is eat dead carcasses all day.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's really gross.
No, they will live forever.
Okay. I guess. Yeah. No, good for them.
Okay.
Is there any nostalgia going back to the same place that drafted you?
Well, one question. Explain that word. Define it.
When you look up Lambeau, are you gonna are you gonna feel some type of way?
What type of way?
It can be whatever type of way you want. It can be a little sad. You can be happy, sad and happy.
I think it's just the memories of being back there. Just I've been there for 4 years, so all the games, all the practices, being there with Aaron Jones and just being there with just dudes that I came in with, drafted with. So it's a lot. It's gonna be my first time going back as not a Packer. Mm-hmm. So it's a little different, but I'm still ready for it. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have a lot of fun out there.
Knowing the ins and outs of Green Bay, what do you and these Lions need to emphasize above everything else in order to get a dub on Monday Night Football in Green Bay?
I really just feel like we just gotta execute on our stuff that we be working on all week. We just gotta execute, be ready. It's gonna be a loud environment, and we just gotta go in there and just be mentally focused and be really focused on the details and just ready to execute.
Mm-hmm. Better than a lot of other people, how does this defense, I know you're on offense, but how does this defense slow down Aaron Rodgers, who you played with for the last 4 years?
Oh, like I played defense. I'm just saying. Really, you just got to go out there and you got to keep your disguises. You got to keep them guessing. You got to do your best. Aaron is always looking for some type of tell to tell him what type of coverage you in, what's happening, just so he can make the best decision. But the more you just keep him guessing, you got to keep things different, and you just got to keep him on his toes. So you just got to keep him guessing.
If the opportunity presents itself, will you still do a Lambeau Leap Monday?
Oh, most definitely. Okay. I'm honestly going to go pregame, and I'm going to talk to some of the fans and be like, hey, I know y'all still love me. Don't be like that. Just let me jump up there, score, and let me get out of there. I don't think they going to throw no beer on me or nothing. Probably popcorn. Popcorn's fine.
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
tripping
fine
about that. I'll be hungry during the games anyway.
Right.
Yeah. It's going to be fine. I'm going to Lambeau Leap for like 3 seconds, then I'm hopping back off because they ain't going to grab me and put something down my jersey. I ain't going to finish the game with soggy pants that smells like beer all day.
Yeah, no soggy pants, please. Okay, great. Show your Lions pride by going authentic with gear from shop.detroitlions.com. For a great selection of t-shirts, hats, jerseys, and novelties with convenient flat rate shipping right to your doorstep, visit shop.detroitlions.com, your 24/7 home for Lions gear. To close out this week's One Pridecast, we have to have none other than DetroitLions.com contributor, writer Mike O'Hara here for his pick of the week presented by MGM Grand Detroit. All right, Mike, Monday Night Football, Lions and Packers. Who you got?
Well, you got to take the Packers. You really do. Like they're favored by 11, 12, 13 points, but I don't see it as a runaway. I really don't. I thought the Lions would be under the number last week against San Francisco, and they were, with the line going up at the last minute. And I think the same thing will happen, for the Packers. If you're looking at both teams objectively, and I'm trying to, I think you're more heartened with the way the Lions came back than you are the way the Packers didn't. They get flattened out and they stayed that way. And it seemed like they weren't too unhappy with where they were. So look, I think you've got to take the Packers only because they're better. Obviously, they've been put together for a long time. The Lions have 60 minutes of football together, and I'll take the Packers 29-23.
Man, you are sparing the Lions at no cost. I mean, Mike, how big though would a win like this be for Detroit if they were to go into there to Lambeau Monday night and just pull out an unbelievable effort?
Well, it really would be. It'd be something for them, especially, look, you've got a new coaching staff and a new starting quarterback, and I was really thinking about some of this, Danny, about Jared Goff and what these games mean. When you really look at what he's done the last 4 years with the Los Angeles Rams, they didn't play like meaningful matchup games or measuring stick games in week 2 and week 3. They were playing for the playoffs for 4 years, and they made it 3 times. They made it to the Super Bowl 1 year. So I think it was an entirely different approach, an entirely different dynamic to those games than what we've seen in Detroit for the last few years. We're always, it's a measuring stick game. Can we get to 500 after the 6th game? Yeah, he's not used to that now. He may get used to it in a hurry here because it's a rebuilding project to some degree. But I think he might be wired a little differently than what we've seen in other players here, other free agents or guys that they acquired in trade that we've seen from the recent years.
Man, great insight. You are on your game, Mike. You'll be watching from home, right? We won't see you there.
I'll be watching from home. You won't see me there or here.
You'll have cheese curds. You'll have cheese curds at home, right?
Do that. You do that. You have cheese curds.
Oh,
I've never had them.
You've never had
Never.
cheese curds?
Never.
Maybe we'll bring you back some from Green Bay.
Can you get it through some customs?
I think we'll work it out.
Security?
Yeah, I'll make sure you get your cheese curds, Mike. All right, thank you so much.
Hey, cool. Thanks for having me.
Pick of the week. That's the One Pridecast. So many awesome guests this week. Can't wait to do it all over again next Friday. But Lions traveling to the Packers for a big Monday night football matchup. It should be a good one.